Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving right into the incredible, multi-dimensional story of Cristiano Ronaldo. You know him as CR7, undoubtedly one of the greatest football players of all time, but his journey from a small island to a global brand powerhouse is, well, it's literally cinematic. So let's break down exactly how a young boy transformed into a sporting legend and an absolute billionaire titan. $1.4 billion. Now, you might be thinking that sounds like the valuation of some trendy Silicon Valley tech startup, right? Well, actually, in June 2025, the boy who once lived in a poverty-stricken home in Madeira officially became football's first ever billionaire. But how on earth did he build that staggering net worth? How did he manage to combine unmatched athletic discipline with such shrewd business acumen? Let's find out.
So here is our roadmap for today's Explainer. 1. From poverty to prodigy. 2. Conquering European football. 3. Inspiring a nation. 4. The billion-dollar brand. And 5. A global legacy.
All right, part 1, from poverty to prodigy. His story begins on the isolated volcanic island of Madeira, Portugal. And this setting is absolutely crucial to understanding his relentless drive. He was born into extreme poverty, the youngest of 4 kids. His dad, Dinas, was a kit man who struggled with alcohol, and his mom, Dolores, was a cleaner. In fact, she famously revealed she had even considered terminating the pregnancy because their financial struggles were just that severe. Fast forward to the day, and he's a global icon and literally the most followed person on Instagram. The contrast is just staggering, and it really sets the stage for a kid who had absolutely everything stacked against him from day one. When he was just 12 years old, Cristiano left his family behind to join the Sporting CP Academy in Lisbon. His whole family was crying at the airport as he flew off. He had to learn how to live completely independently, fending for himself in a big, unfamiliar city. He literally perfected the art of folding clothes at age 12, all because he absolutely refused to let the challenges of a difficult childhood hold him back. It was in those quiet, lonely moments that his legendary discipline and ironclad daily routine really started to take root. He actually said later on that this experience taught him how to be a man. But, the hurdles didn't stop there. At 15, he faced a potentially career-ending condition, a racing heart that required a serious operation. I mean, imagine that at 15. But even that couldn't stop him. Sporting waited 3 months to make sure he was fully recovered, and boom, he was right back out on the pitch. His godfather even noted that all he ever wanted to do was play football. He'd actually escape out of his bedroom window to go play when he was supposed to be doing his homework. Okay, let's move into part 2, conquering European football. His explosive rise through the world's elite clubs is pretty much unmatched. He debuted for Sporting CP in 2002, quickly caught the eye of Manchester United in 2003, and then came that massive mega transfer to Real Madrid in 2009. From there, he dominated Italy with Juventus in 2018, made a highly publicized return to Manchester United in 2021, and completely shifted the global football landscape by moving to Al Nassr in 2022. Every single stop on this timeline is marked by his obsessive commitment to fitness, diet, and recovery. He essentially transformed his body into a machine built purely to shatter records. Even as an 18-year-old, he was just on a completely different level. A dazzling performance and a friendly match against Manchester United absolutely convinced Sir Alex Ferguson that he had to sign the teenager right then and there. During his first spell in Manchester, we saw him evolve. He went from being a raw winger with, maybe a few too many stepovers into this lethal, physically dominant goal scorer. He ultimately won 3 consecutive Premier League titles, the Champions League, and his very first Ballon d'Or in 2008. And then came the move that changed the entire game, the €94 million Real Madrid dream realized in 2009. At the time, that was a record-breaking transfer fee, but honestly, he proved to be a total bargain. His relentless pursuit of greatness led to some truly mind-boggling statistics. To put this in perspective, I'm talking 61 goals in 54 matches during the 2014-15 season alone. That is just insane. He became the club's all-time leading scorer, taking home 4 more Champions League titles and 4 more Ballon d'Ors. He wasn't just competing against other teams anymore, he was literally competing against history. Which brings us to part 3, inspiring a nation. Now, the defining moment of his international career undeniably came at the Euro 2016 final. But it started with real heartbreak at just 25 minutes in. A heavy tackle from Dimitri Payet forced an injured, tearful Ronaldo off the pitch in the biggest game of his life. But here's the thing. Instead of retreating to the locker room to sulk, he essentially became the assistant manager.
He passionately coached and cheered his teammates from the sidelines, limping around the technical area, pushing them on until Edders scored that extra-time winner. It's this exact fierce leadership that would later help them secure the UEFA Nations League title too. In a deeply stirring dressing room speech after that Euro victory, he stood before his team and said, "This is the trophy that was missing. We are now in the history of Portugal." He made sure to thank the coach, the staff, and his teammates, fully acknowledging that they were the ones who made it happen. For a player who is so often lazily accused of being selfish, this moment proved his absolute dedication to collective success and his profound love for his country. It was an emotional triumph that really cemented his magnum opus in football. Let's transition to part 4, the billion-dollar brand. The sheer scope of the CR7 brand is absolutely staggering. We are talking underwear, which, by the way, started it all back in 2013, footwear, fragrances, denim, luxury Jacob & Co. watches that can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, the Erexulus wellness app, and even his own Pastana CR7 hotels. But the crucial takeaway here is his brilliant business strategy. Unlike most athletes who just take a flat fee for simple endorsements, Ronaldo uses direct ownership and licensing. That means he earns money directly from product sales in over 50 countries. He's building lasting wealth that will easily outlive his playing days. So, how did he climb to that incredible $1.4 billion milestone in 2025? It was fueled by massive, unprecedented moves. First, joining Al Nassr brought in a contract worth roughly £178 million per year, and that was followed by a reported $400 million tax-free extension. On top of that, you have his absolute dominance on social media, where he far outpaces rivals like Messi and Neymar, supercharging his brand's global reach. His influence has become so vast that it even led to an appearance at a White House dinner in late 2025 alongside global tech and business titans. At this point, he isn't just an athlete, he's a global institution. Finally, let's look at part 5, a global legacy. Despite the private jets and the luxury watches, what truly keeps him grounded is his philanthropy and his family. He has 6 children who are the absolute center of his world, helping him balance the immense, crushing pressure of global superstardom. And he really uses his wealth to give back. For instance, he donated $1.35 million during the COVID-19 pandemic, and he does continuous work with charities like Save the Children. Behind that fiercely competitive exterior is a man deeply committed to using his massive platform to improve the lives of others. It really seems like he's always remembering those early struggles from his childhood back in Madeira. So all of this leaves us with a pretty provocative question. Is Cristiano Ronaldo's legacy the result of a God-given natural gift, or is it an abnormally competitive spirit? Well, while he undoubtedly possesses incredible natural talent, his story, from perfecting the art of ironing as a lonely 12-year-old to crying tears of frustration when a match doesn't go his way, suggests something much deeper. It's the cinematic story of a boy who absolutely refused to give up, a true testament that hard work, discipline, and consistency can elevate you from the toughest beginnings to the very pinnacle of global success. So what do you think? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer of the incredible life and legacy of Cristiano Ronaldo.